welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do a quick overview of my Noe Gm. It's currently full right now. I probably should have emptied it before I did this, but yeah, I didn't. So let's just get started. All right, so this is the second one that I've owned. I owned a pre-loved one before, sold it, totally regretted it, and then I bought it new. I think I got it last week or the week before. Maybe I've had it for 2 weeks now. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I love it. It already has a few watermarks on it. You guys know how I am. I don't treat my bags. I just use them. And a few days ago, me and my husband went on a we went on a date and went to do virtual golf. And it was pouring when we left and my bag got wet. So yeah, it's not bad. It's just some little spots, but happens to me every time I get a new bag. So it was inevitable. It's heavy. I have so much crap in it right now. I guess I'll take it out. Super loud. Okay, so I have a lot of crap in here. It's also heavy because I've got my lock from the gym and some giant sunglasses. I also recently got this. I got it from Belk, I think. It's this little hobo, little keep thing that you put change in. I thought it was so cute. Okay, that's pretty much everything out of it. So this is the original bucket bag. It's one of Louis Vuitton's. I don't know if it was the first, I don't know if it was this or the Alma, but it was one of the first bags. This was created to carry 5 champagne bottles, 4 right side up and 1 upside down in the middle. And then it just turned into people using it as a bag, like an actual like purse, handbag, whatever. My favorite part is the closure. Obviously, I've mentioned this so many times, but I love the closure on the Noe bags. Like, I love the drawstring. I love the way it cinches. I think it's so beautiful. I do this kind of slip knot thing on mine. I do have a YouTube video on it. I'll link it down below. It's super easy. I still have to follow it every time I get a new bag that has one of these because I forget how to do it. But it makes it so easy to use because literally it just pulls like this. You can open it, and then if you want to close it, you just, you know, yank it like this and then tighten it back up. So it's super easy. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. This is not a crossbody bag. Even if you have it on the longest setting, it's not a crossbody. I've definitely seen people post pictures and stuff of it as a crossbody, but it's literally right under their armpit. It looks ridiculous in my opinion. You can obviously change out the strap and put a long strap on it, but again, my opinion, I think that it looks silly because it's enormous. Like, this is a giant bag, so I think crossbody is just silly. If you get this, actually probably 2021 or earlier, you're gonna have a date code. This one does not, but the old ones will have it. If you, sorry, my hand is gross, it's all cut up. If you pull on it, the date code will be right in here on one of the sides. But yeah, this one is from this year, so it just has a chip somewhere in here. It says Louis Vuitton Paris on the side. And then on the other side, we have made in France. I have seen a very small handful of Noe bags made in the USA, but for the most part of what I've seen, it's always made in France. So yeah, for a while I thought if they were made in the USA, if it said that, it was fake, but apparently it's not. But yeah, predominantly these are made in France. Not really sure why, but that's what I found. You do get a ton of vaquetta on this bag. So you have this big strip on the bottom, and then, oh yes, this is what most people worry about. Most people are afraid of this. They're afraid to set it down, mess it up, but it's not really that big of a deal. My Petite Noe is used so much. It's been through all the elements, and the bottom of it still looks great. And I mean, that's with rain, snow, everything. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't protect my bags with anything. And I don't recommend that you do either. It will eventually get an even patina once you just use it. And once you use it and you get an oil on it, it gets like a honey patina, then it's really protected because it's kind of slick after that. I can't explain it, but it does a lot. It helps it maintain the look. Okay, so we talked about the holes on the side. Also, it says Louis Vuitton Paris on the top up here. The vintage ones will say made in France on the other end, but they haven't done that in a really long time. Also, as you can notice, the glazing is really bright. That too is gonna fade. This is literally 2 weeks old or so, so that will fade over time, but it's still beautiful. But you have to realize that it's not gonna stay that deep red forever. People tend to complain about it, say that it's a defect, but it's not. I have some, you know, like my Speedy 25 that I got in 2004, that is not red at all. So yeah, and that one got a ton of use. So the more you use it, it's gonna lose that color. You have a strip of vachetta on either side. So beautiful. And then you've got these grommet things that it goes to. I think that's what those are called. They say Louis Vuitton on every single one. Something odd that I noticed, this one's perfect. Like it says Louis on top and Vuitton on bottom. And my Noe BB, my Petite Noe, my multicolored Petite Noe, all those are perfect. Then you go to my limited editions since 1854 and they're all crooked, upside down. I thought that was interesting. But for the most part, when you get a Noe, I don't know, I feel like over time, these have been one of the few bags that haven't lost, they haven't lost any quality. This still feels really thick. Feels thicker than my Speedy B25. Yeah, they just don't have as many quality issues. They're still made great, and I don't know, I feel like you're getting more for your money with these because you're getting more leather. A lot of the other ones, like the Neo Noe, there's none of this. It's just, I don't know. And then I think the top of these are better because they have the leather that goes all the way around. The Neo does not, it's just raw at the top, and they tend to crack and have issues. So when it comes to these, I would definitely go the classic. Okay, now for size. Got my tape measure. So from the very bottom to the top here, I'm gonna straighten this out. It is, looks like 13.5, maybe almost 14 inches. And then from here to here, I'm gonna go along the leather just because it's a little bit hard to do it with the canvas. It looks like it's about 7 inches. And then this strap drop for me is 12 inches. So it's a pretty good one. I was wearing my jacket the other day when we went on our date, and I was able to just throw it over my jacket, and it was a big jacket. Well, it wasn't huge, but with no problem. So it's very comfortable. And then if you're wearing a bigger jacket, you can always just move it to one of the bigger holes so that it'll hang a little bit bigger, and then you can really fling it over your shoulder without having to worry about it. Inside you have a D-ring, which I still have my AirTag and my headphones on, but you have one D-ring, and then besides that, it is a giant pit of nothing. Like, you have nothing. So I know that a lot of people like to put an organizer in it because you can't find anything. I mean, I haven't had a problem, but I can totally see how it would be hard. Like, pretend you've got all your stuff in there and you're traveling and you need to find something. Well, you have to dig like way in here because this is very north-south. That's one of the reasons I sold it last time. Anyway, there's reasons I rebought it. But anyway, I can see how that would be a problem. It's very north-south, so you have to dig really deep in here to find it, and it can be a little bit hard. A con I have found, along with it being north-south, is if you're wearing it on your shoulder and pretend you need to pay at a store and you don't want to take it off, you know, you just want to quickly grab in. If your wallet is at the bottom, it's a little bit hard because, again, it's really deep. If it's over here, you're like trying to dig in, and a normal bag would probably be like right here. So you can find what you need really easy. But since this is so deep, you're reaching over and it's a little bit harder. So know that going in. I really thought that I wouldn't like it being north-south, because the first time I had it, I really didn't. But this time I'm finding, maybe I'm just in a different state of mind, but I'm not finding it as bothersome. So I'm really enjoying it. This bag will carry everything that you need, clearly, and a ton more. When I go to the gym, I take my big Beats headphones. I take the strap thing that goes on my leg if I'm doing leg day. I've thrown a water bottle in there. So you can really put everything in there and more. And because it is north-south, you're just kind of throwing it on top. And I don't know, I like it. And it would be great for travel because, again, you can throw everything in there and then you can cinch it. The only problem with cinching it sometimes all the way is when you first do it, you're gonna have to move the cord around and then re-pull it and tighten it again. So that can be a little bit bothersome if you like your bag to be a lot tighter. But again, you also don't have to do this tie. You can just do it in a bow or a knot if you want. You don't have to do that. I just personally like it that way. And I feel like I mainly carry it kind of like, tighten that. I mainly carry it about like this. So, well, it doesn't look like that. It'll look a little bit better when you're actually using it. But I use it like that where it's open this much so I can get what I need. But if I really need to dig in there, I can open it all the way with no problem and it almost being all the way open. Here it is full of all my stuff. You can see how it hangs a lot better than when it's empty. It has a better shape. It doesn't look all weird and wonky. It's just beautiful. This bottom will not sag even over time. This will not sag. This is very reinforced. It's very thick leather, so it's going to keep its shape at the bottom no matter how much you put in here and no matter how much you use it. So it's absolutely beautiful. Also on the tie, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I put little knots at the end because whenever I open it up all the way, if you don't have the knots, it can tend to pull the piece out and then you have to redo your knot again. So yeah. On the top leather too, there is always going to be a spot where the leather meets right here. Mine's right there. Sometimes it's in slightly different spots, but over time from using it, the piece can flap up a little bit and that's okay. It's not going to cause any issues. It shouldn't tear or anything, but that can happen. Also, you don't want to let your bag like dry out. So you don't want to keep it in a box. You don't want to keep it somewhere where it's not getting any air because the leather will dry and crack. Also, I don't recommend treating it at all because I think if you spray certain things on it or if you clean it, so like if you get an old one and you clean it, you can dry out the leather and that's going to cause cracking at the top. So that's something that I've never done because I don't want that. Mine is very, very new, but also every Speedy B, well, monogram, I'm not sure about Dummy or Ben, but the Speedy B25 in monogram, or any size, sorry, any Speedy B in monogram, and the Noe bags, that they'll have strips on either side. I have found that all of them will have one side that stays perfect pretty much with no wrinkles, which mine hasn't done it yet, and then you'll have another side that is wrinkled. It's just how it is. Mine naturally do that always. My Petite did it really fast. My Noe BB has it. They all have it where one side is slightly wrinkled and then the other side is smooth. So know that that's gonna be something that happens. That is not a defect. Like that's just, it is what it is. Well, there you go. There's just a quick overview of my new Noe GM. This is the largest size. Again, they have a nano. I think they have an even smaller nano thing. Then there's the BB, the Petite, and the GM. I will try to do a comparison between all three of the sizes that I have hopefully soon. If you have any questions about them though, let me know. If you want to know what fits in all three or what might not fit in all three, also let me know so I can put that in the comparison. But thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.